Normalization. Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of FD and normalization. I hope you are clear with the concept of X determine Y, that is FDs. Now let us move on to some other concepts. See, there are two different type of representation. Number one, if you see as, first of all, the first concept is in case of normalization, normal form, we use the word relation rather than table. So please make it very clear in all the most of the cases, most of the example you will find the word relation. So student relation mean we are talking about student table, but this relation word is different from relationship. Relationship is primary key foreign key, and this relation is a general RDBMS term. Okay, so you can have two types of questions or representation. Number one, a relation R can be written as something like this in capital student and the name of the attributes, and the set of FDs F can be written as roll number determine name, roll number determine city, something like this. Okay, or in most of the cases in gate questions and other type of question you will find it this way: R ABC, where A B C are the columns, and set of FDs F, where F A determine B, A determine C. So let us begin with this. See, if the question is something like this, it is very easy, because without any confusion you can tell. If I ask you what is the primary key of this table, by your general instinct you can say roll number with the primary key, because you are aware that roll number will be used to identify. But if the question is something like this, ABC, and this is ABAC, what is the primary key, then it becomes a little bit tricky. So understanding of FD is totally based on this concept. Now please listen very carefully. This is a simple example, then we will move ahead. The above relation R has total 3 attributes, okay? A, B and C. And there are two FDs. In this FDs, A determines B and A determines C. So total 3 attributes. Out of these 3 attributes, 2 are dependent on A. Okay? It means A is the candidate key of the table. Okay, so now you have a different definition of primary key. Till now what we have seen, primary key is an attribute which cannot accept null and which cannot contain duplicate. But actually theoretically primary key has a different theoretical definition, which you can see right here. Now a primary key attribute is an attribute which can functionally determine all other attributes of a table, or in other words, a primary key is an attribute on which other attributes are dependent for their unique identification. Okay, so this, and on what basis we have done this? We have done on the basis of these FDs. Since you can see A, with the help of A you can find unique value of B, with the help of A you can find unique value of C. Total there are 3, so therefore A becomes candidate, as you can see here. If I give you roll number 3, what will be, how many name will be displayed? 1. If I ask roll number 3 how many cities? 1. So with the help of roll number you can take name, with the help of roll number you can take city. So roll number has that power that can determine name and city, and out of these 3, roll number is the candidate. Okay, so in question it can be replaced by A, B, C, and you will not get any values, because with values and familiar name it becomes very easy. So please understand this thing. It is very, very important before you move ahead on normalization and other concepts. Okay. I hope it is very clear to you. These are two different types of representation. Table name in capital letters. This is not necessary to be written in capital, but here I have written. FD is written like this, or it can be R, A, B, C, D, or PQRS, or something like this. And usually one more thing I would like to highlight. Usually you will not find an attribute with name F, because usually F is reserved for set of FDs. There is no hard and fast rule, but in general it will be like this. So F, what does capital F represent? It represents set of FDs which are implied on this relation R. Okay, So A determine B hold whenever two tuples have the same value for A. Two tuple, what is the meaning of two tuple actually? You will never find two tuple with 1, 1 and A and different name, because one will not be repeated. So two tuple will never have same A value. It will have only one, and therefore this language is used. Okay. So functional dependency is the relationship among attributes. Now there are two types of dependencies. Number one is partial and number is full. Partial happens in case when you have composite primary key. Okay. See, in this case, there is no concept of partial because only one attribute is there. So B is completely dependent on A, C is completely dependent on A because there is no part of A. So completely word is a little bit ambiguous, but technically it is said like this only. So B is completely dependent on A and C is completely dependent on A. Okay, there is no concept of partial here in this example. But suppose if your primary key was made up of two columns A and B, okay, and C was dependent only on A, then it is called as partial. Okay, that we will see. So partial dependency, for example, if A and B is the primary key and AB determines C, then if you have B and C or A determines C, then C is partially dependent on A. Okay, so although this should not happen because it can give anomalies, but just to explain the concept of what is meant by partial, I am telling you. What is the meaning of full? Full means if AB is the primary key of the table, then C can be determined only with the help of both of them. Okay, and not alone with value of A or alone with value of B. This I will tell you in the example of second normal form. Okay, what does it mean? But right now you just understand the concept of partial and full. Okay, so full means if attribute is dependent on all the combined values of primary. Okay, sometimes you can have transitive also. It means A determine B, B determine C, then automatically it means A can determine C. Okay, and it can be written also as A determine B, B determine C, then C can be determined by directly by A. Okay, now coming up to very important concept of called as normal forms. Normal forms are a condition satisfied by a table based on functional dependencies, and those forms are based on certain set of rules, and these rules defines the normal form as first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, fourth normal form, fifth normal form, and in between BCNF also. Okay, so it is a little bit complex topic, but if you have gone through the previous video and also this video carefully and go through the topics in the books, maybe some example on the net, it is very easy. The only thing is what we have discussed so far should be understandable to you. Okay. Sometimes what happens because of normalization, a large table may be broken into smaller ones. So there are many definitions of normalization. Like normalization is the process of breaking a large relation, having anomalies into small relations that are free from anomalies. Another can be normalization is a process in which a table is tested against certain rules. So you can have different definitions of normal forms. Kindly go through them and make a notes. Now, because of breaking a relation into table, obviously the system performance will reduce because you will have to perform joins on them. As you must remember that a table might not hold complete information, as you have seen in department and employee table. So you may have to join it, and join consume lot of computation power. Okay, so uh, what is the purpose of normalization? The purpose of normalization is to avoid any type of anomalies. Okay, you must be remembering there are four type of anomalies: insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, updation anomaly, and redundancy. Okay, so let us see them with again with an example. As you have seen that this was our ER diagram, department and employee. These were the two tables that we have made. Suppose instead of making these two tables, we had made these this single table. Okay. So are you getting? See what we have done. Again, this you must have seen these table in the example of joins. Okay. So if you have not gone through, please go through my joins tutorial. Otherwise, you will have a lot of problems. So what is happening? 1 Kumar 40. Now 40 name is not here. 40 name is here. It is because 10, 10, 30, 30, 33 times there. So if I will write again and again 30 production, redundancy will be there. So what we have done? We have created separate tables. So but the problem is that you cannot see complete information. So if we try to make a single table something like this, okay, so what will happen? You can see 10 sales Delhi, 10 sales Delhi, 30 production Delhi, 30 production Delhi, 30 production Delhi. So what is this? As you know, this is called as redundancy anomaly. So the problem with such, now this problem can be identified with the help of normalization also. It is directly visible to you also, and moreover it is visible in case of normal form also. So what was the first anomaly? Redundancy. Redundancy means this unnecessary repetition. Second was deletion anomaly. Now suppose if the record of Kumar is removed, then what you can see suppose Kumar and ABC is removed. So what will happen? The details of packing department will be lost, because suppose if we delete these two record, this one and this one, so what will happen? You cannot tell that there is department number 40. But here in this case, if ABC and Kumar are removed, then the details of 40 remains here. Okay, so this was the benefit of creating different tables. So this was deletion. Third was insertion. Now what you can see, by looking at this table, it looks like that the company has only 4 departments, 10, 20, 30, 40. But as you can see, department has 80 and 70 also. But in this table, 80 and 70 cannot come until an employee joins that department, because employee code is the primary key. So this is called as insertion anomaly. That is because of one type of entity, another is not able to come. Okay. And third is modification. If you change the spelling of sales in one record, make sure that that changes everywhere. Otherwise, database will become inconsistent. Okay. So there are 4 anomalies we have seen. First, number 1 is redundancy. Number 2 is deletion. Number 3 is insertion. And fourth one is updation or modification. So please go through these anomalies very well, otherwise you will face a lot of problems. Okay, you can find different type of examples in different books of anomalies. I will suggest please try to learn and understand a different type of example, then only you can go through normal form. So in next tutorial, before that, see what has to be done. The purpose of normalization will be, if there is problem in this table, break it into 2 or 3 tables. So this breaking is called as normalization. Now before we go into detail, the rules of normalization is that whenever you break a large table, it should have these 2 properties. Number 1, lossless, and number 2, dependency. First, what is the meaning of lossless? See, it is very easy. Lossless means if you are breaking a table into 2 tables, then whenever you try to join them, then you should get the original single table records. There should not be any extra records. Okay, like we see that again, like if we divide this table into these 2 and we perform a join on this, then again this should be formed. Okay, that's the meaning of lossless join. And next is dependency. It means whatever FDs were there in the original table, like roll number determines name, employee code determines department, employee code determines salary. So when you break that table, those FDs should be able to identify without joining the tables. Okay, so that is the two important properties of normalization or decomposition of a large table into smaller one. Let us see with this example again. So if a table has A determine B and A determines C, and you create a table, suppose as in one table you keep only A and another table you keep BC. So what happens? Originally it was AB, but now there are two tables, one having only A and another having only B and C. So now A determines C is not there and A determines B is not there. So your decomposition is lossy, or it is not dependency preserving. Okay, I hope this is enough for this part. Now please go through this topic plus the question that I will be giving, then we will move to normal forms. Okay, normal forms are the most critical part, but if you go through all these tutorials and topic, you can understand them very well. Okay, thank you very much. See you in next normal form video.